They're set to go as their Jets will match up with their opponents. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The start he was hoping for there is he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. He'll drop to throw, and going deep for Hill. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. Touchdown! Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Dolphins, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Rodgers' throw here taken in by Gesicki. They find some open field here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a big play that time by the Jets.
And as you saw right there, this is a guy with pretty good speed for a tight end. Nice job there, catching the short throw and turning it upfield. He can also be a weapon downfield as well.
54, right there, 54. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsay. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9. To throw, it's Rodgers. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. On play action, Rodgers rolling to his right. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
He takes it to the 15. A nice display of power. That gives him a nice pickup. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. To throw is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Gonzalez's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complementary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
So, Charles, you look at this offense. So what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He is going to find Hill here. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
They'll look to throw again. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back to the 33-yard line. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
But enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, doesn't it?
Now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And Old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Under pressure, they got him again. And the defense coming through on third down, a loss of 7 to bring up fourth. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago and in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. shotgun now for Rodgers. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And this one's going to be touchdown right at about the 35-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They'll look to throw here. Buying time to his left. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. And going deep for Hill. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. On play action, it's Rodgers. Airing one out for Crowder. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down, and you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
2nd down at 6 now from the 42. They'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running set.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. There's Fuller for a Dolphin touchdown. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
I'm really not sure what was more impressive about that throw. Was it the distance traveled or the accuracy involved, because I'm going to tell you straight up, when you're trying to hit a guy in stride that far downfield, there's nothing easy about it, but he sure made it look easy there.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Now it's Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lindsey. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Now an open man, that's the tight end Gesicki. It's complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And inside the...
It's only Trey and TFL that can beat me.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. He's at the 50, 30, 10. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick-6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 53. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
On second down now, it's Lindsey.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. Here's a give to Lindsey. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And this one is incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Keon Crossan. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Now Rodgers. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So 1st and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got Fuller. Touchdown, Dolphins. Will Fuller with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And thanks to the interception, the Dolphins offense cashes in with 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. The offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They'll roll him out right. Open receiver here, complete. It's Parker. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a big play that time by the Jets.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
They'll run on 1st down. Lindsey, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 45-yard line. 319, go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Watch the screen.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Jeff Gladney. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. blanketed the field, going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll set up to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a handoff looking right. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A yard in the wrong direction. Makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. Now back to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that'll fall incomplete. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Lindsey. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Rodgers got to have this one. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Keon Crossan. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. Shotgun snap and a give to Lindsay. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd. 2nd and 21. A lot of ground to cover. Another try after the 1st down sack. Rodgers. Pass incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and a mile. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
But to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Rodgers going to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 11. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
Room here to run. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 82 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. They run the option here on 1st and 10. Space to run past the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for our visitors, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll head back home next